All right, hey there everybody, I'm Coach Brandon here with Coach Adam, and today we're going to be going over some of our takedown options from the standing position. Mostly today is going to be our attacks based on the upper body, or they're going to be what we call arm dominant takedowns. They're going to be takedowns where I use mostly my arms to achieve the takedown, either by coming in and grabbing the legs, and taking my opponent down in a backward direction. Sorry, I'll talk this way. Taking my opponent down in a backward direction. Or it'll be setting arm from the upper body and then taking him down in a forward direction by dragging. So we have driving takedowns where I'm driving him backward, and then we have dragging takedowns where I'm dragging him down forward. Okay? Now, I know you're excited to learn takedowns, but don't forget about the lessons you learned last week. If you just try to shoot your takedowns based on what I teach you in class today, and that's all you're focusing on, you're probably not going to have much success. If you're just out here and you're thinking, oh, I know the double leg was a good takedown, let me try a double leg, and you just go for it, your opponent's going to defend. So we have to use last week's lessons to maintain a dominant, advantageous position over our opponent. So when we're lined up here, my hands are guarding my collars, my lapels, so Adam cannot establish a grip on my lapel. When he goes to reach and set a power hand, I intercept and I deny the power hand, right? If he goes and I fail to intercept and he gets a power hand, now it becomes my job to start stripping this power hand off. I strip the power hand and I set my own. Now that I have my grips, I can start pulling him into the pyramid position, and now I can start going in and hitting my takedowns. We also have to know how to break the control hand grip. Remember, if I go to get a power hand on him and he gets a control hand grip, now I can't get a power hand. He's keeping my hand away. I can use an inside thumb post, and we break the grip. I can use an outside thumb post, we break the grip, or I can use a cross thumb post and we break the grip. Now when I set my grips and I'm pulling Adam around the mat, I'm looking to create one of two scenarios. There's a number of scenarios. I shouldn't say one of two, many, okay? One is a situation where his weight's on his heels. If I can put his weight onto his heels, it becomes very easy for me to come down and take him down in a backward direction. If I can get his weight onto his toes, now it becomes easy for me to start pulling and taking him down in a forward direction with a dragging takedown. Another instance that I might want is I might want to get one leg close to me. Let's say if I want a single leg, I pull, I get this leg close to me, so I can come in and hit a single leg takedown. And then later we're going to look at situations where I can either make Adam's leg light so I can sweep it away, or I make all of this, so I make an unweighted foot and then I sweep away the unweighted foot, or I create a fully weighted foot and then I reap away the fully weighted foot. Okay? So we're looking to create the pulling man, where he's pulling away from me and his weight's on his heels, and I take him backward, or the hollow man, where I get his weight onto his toes and he's coming forward, and we take him down in a forward direction. So if that's what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to strip his power hand, I'm trying to set my own power hand, and I'm trying to move him around the mat to create the pyramid position. We haven't talked about that in this video yet. The pyramid position where he has no ability to base behind him or in front of him. If he has a back leg, now when I go to push, he has a back leg and he's going to be more stable. So I want to push and pull until I create the pyramid position with his weight either on his heels or on his toes. If I can do those, I have him set up well for a takedown. Another thing that I need to do, we've already talked about it, but I'm going to stress the importance of it. We have to take away his power hand. His power hand is going to get in the way of almost all of your takedown attempts. If he sets a power hand grip on me, let's say just a straight, yep, perfect, right here. If I shoot in for a double leg and he makes a stiff arm, get in. If I go to snap him down, he can base his body weight on this hand, and I'll never get him down to the floor. I go to shoot, he keeps me away. This power hand is going to be the bane of your existence. So if you want to work takedowns effectively on the feet, I highly recommend keep the power hand off. Either intercept it. If you can't intercept it, then strip it. If you can't strip it, then negate it and weaken it. And we're going to see that if we can't do one of those three things, the fourth step is if we can't intercept, strip, or negate, will be to lower our expectations. And we're going to look at that down the road. So initially he comes in to make a power hand on me, intercept, and I don't let him control my head. So now I have a great ability to shoot in and close the distance. He can't stiff arm me away. And because he has no base of support on me through this hand, I can start off balancing him in a forward direction. If I can't intercept it and he gets a grip, the next best thing is to strip it. Now we have the same scenario where I'm going to take him down backwards and forwards because he doesn't have a power hand anymore. If he sets a power hand and I'm having trouble stripping it, another thing I can do is I can weaken it or negate it. Understand that his power hand, he wants to control my head. So I'm going to take his power hand down my lapel. Now when he goes to push and pull me around, he has a very limited effect on me. But if I can keep my power hand high, I have a very good ability to push and pull him around. So even though we both have a power hand set, this is not an equal position. I have more ability to push and pull him than he has to push and pull me. So this is still an advantage. So either intercept the power hand, strip the power hand, or negate the power hand. And if you can't do any of those, we're going to lower our expectations to sacrificial takedowns. Let's say, for instance, he has a power hand on me. I'll show this briefly, and I'm having trouble stripping it. There are situations where I can take inferior grips, and I go to pull, and I kick him up and over, and I sweep him over the top of my head. I get his 2 feet off the floor, and we hit our kick over takedown, or hook takedown, sugation. We'll look at those later. But for this video, let's look at situations where I do win the grip fight. Situations where I can either intercept or I can strip. Okay? We're going to look at driving and dragging takedowns now. We have to be very careful when we choose which takedowns we want to use. Okay? There are certain takedowns that I use because they're less risky. We're going to see that, for instance, a drop Sayanagi, while it's a popular takedown in judo, is very dangerous in jiu-jitsu because I'm going to get my back taken. In judo, if I fail with a drop Sayanagi, the referee will stop the action after 20 seconds and they'll restart us on the feet. It's judo, the rules are different. But in jiu-jitsu, if I try a failed drop Sayanagi and he takes my back, I now have to fight out of that position. He has back control and no referee's going to come save me and pull him off me. So we have to pick and choose our takedowns based on how risky they are for the sport and for the rules of the sport. So with that being said, we're going to look first at the collar drag takedown. As the name implies, this is a dragging takedown in a forward direction. The collar drag is a very low risk, high reward takedown that can either get you to your opponent's back or get you in on a single leg, etc. Let's talk about how we make the collar drag takedown work. So again, in a situation where me and Adam are gripped up with each other, just like so, okay? Maybe I have to strip his cuff grip. So I come through, I strip the cuff grip with one of the methods we looked at. But now I've got to deal with this. The reason I strip the cuff grip, by the way, when I'm here, take the cuff grip, this is the hand I want to get off, right? But if I go to get this hand off, I can't get this hand to the wrist. I haven't got control of my cuff. I can't get to the wrist. So I may need to first deal with this grip. Big grip. Or maybe I have to use the pump handle method, right? Pull, and I get a little bit, keep grip. I'm gonna get like a 1/2 inch free, I pull back, I get another half inch, I pull back, and I keep pumping until eventually I can get that sleeve free. Now with the sleeve out of my way, I come down here, strip that grip off, and I set my own power hand. Now I've got a power hand on him, he doesn't have one on me. He might take a grip on my armpit, you know, that's pretty common, right there. So now from here, what I want to do is I want to square his stance up to me so I get the pyramid position. Right now I see that his right leg is back, so I can either pull that right leg forward, or I could step into the pyramid position. Now let's talk about what my power hand is going to do, what my control hand is going to do, etc. My power hand, I'm going to go from, just keep this hand off for now so students don't get confused here. Let's talk about the control hand first, actually. In a collar drag, I want to get around his body and get behind him. This arm is going to catch me. If I go to hit a collar drag, and this is still on this side of my body, I get caught by the arm. So with my control hand, I want to pull past his hand across my center line. So when we're here, we strip this grip off, I pass the hand across the center. That is going to ensure that I get an angle. My right hand, I'm going to come up here, I'm going to take a cross collar grip. You can do this with a straight collar, but it works much better with a cross collar. If I already have a straight collar, let's say I break and I have a straight collar, and I decide that I want to go to the collar drag, it's very easy to switch from a straight collar to a cross collar. Very easy. My support leg is going to step out here onto Adam's ankle line. This makes sure that I get an angle to the outside. Okay? If I step here, I might pull him right on top of me. I'm going to be pulling myself down my butt. I'm going to be sitting to my butt, and I don't want him on top of me, so I step to the outside. My right hand goes to this collar here. I keep his hand pressed across my center line, and now my right foot blocks. So I'm in this position, I step to the outside ankle line, I step on Adam's ankle line to the outside, the line that draws his two ankles together, I step right on that line, and then my right foot blocks. Now from here, I'm going to pull myself down to the floor, pulling on the collar. And as I do this, I'm going to face my hand to the mat, and I'm going to base the heel of my hand on his collar. Here. And I want to make sure his head stays very heavy. At this point, Adam wants to pop his head back up and turn and face me and recover. From here, I'm going to lean my body weight into the collar, and I'm going to rock forward. Let's now rotate. So I land here. I'm going to drive off my left leg to rock forward onto my right knee. Here. Now I have one hook in. I'm going to take a half claw grip on the far side, and now we can use a power half to start turning our partner over and taking the back. So that's our collar drag. We use this technique when our opponent's weight is on their toes or we feel we can pull them forward. So again, he takes grips on me. I'm going to first focus on stripping his grips, like so, and I create a position of advantage for myself. If I need to, I might use some motion to start getting him out of balance and separating his feet. Now really I go here, but because I want to make sure that I can still talk to you, we're going to say I whipped him around and we ended up right here. Now from here I take a step to the outside ankle line as my control hand passes his hand to the inside. My power hand switches from a straight lapel grip to a cross lapel grip. So I'm here, I block, I fall, I land on my butt, putting weight into the head. Now from here, my left toes driving forward, I'm up, and now I can start breaking him down, taking the back. I can do a power half, I can just pull him into me, and that's going to depend on the skill level of your opponent. I'm not going to spend too much time going over the power half, we've learned that before, and that's getting into the turtle section. Another thing that might happen with the collar drag is we might come up on a single leg. Very, very common to happen. When I go and hit my collar drag, a lot of times what will happen is Adam will drop to the far knee, and he keeps this leg up. He keeps this leg up because now when I go to take his back, his knee's in my way. When this kind of thing happens, rather than put this knee down, rather than rocking up and anchoring myself onto the far hip, so now his hip can't go away from me like we did before, with this knee up, I can't get to the far hip. So I'm going to go right here at the knee, and I'm going to turn it into a single leg. I can't come up and get to the far hip, so I take a single leg. I have this collar, I rock up on a single leg, I stand up with it, and we have a single, we finish with a single. Another thing that might happen is a 4-point. I go here, I try to take him down. This time he doesn't go down to the knees, he just puts hands down on the floor. And we end up 4-point, knees up. And we end up here. If this happens, don't worry, we're gonna put in a near hook, strong base. I put in a thigh ply on the far side, and I throw this hook over. And I hang off with asymmetrical hooks. Now from here I can turn him over with a power half, and we take it back. So those are a lot of the details on the collar drag. Very, very effective takedown. It uses our entire body weight to drag him forward and expose the back. Again, important elements here. This arm has to be across my center line so it doesn't catch me. I want this grip on a cross collar. We might be able to start here. I like to go here to finish. Outside ankle line step, walk, sit and drag. Put all of your weight down on your right hand. From here we rock up, controlling the far hip. And now we're ready to start putting in a half claw and turning over. That's the collar drag. So that's our first dragging takedown, arm dominant. Now let's start to look at some others that we're going to use. Another one is a snap down, okay? One of my favorites. Very effective, very simple. I break the grips, pump, lock the grips up. I come here, I start breaking grips. And we're here. Now for the snap down, there's a number of places I can put my power hand. We're going to start here, right here. And now if I see that after I pull and whip him around, if I see that he's in a pyramid position and his weight's on his toes, I'm going to start dancing away and circling. And as I do that, I'm going to pull his head and his hands down to the floor. Just like so. Now with his head and his hands down, with his hands on the floor, I'm going to go, let's rotate. I need to make sure I get behind this arm. Adam wants to bring this arm up and catch my body and keep me in front of him. Keep me here. When I'm here, I want to get behind this elbow. I might take my arm here. So now when he goes to reach for me, his arm's caught in the middle. So my cross arm goes across and blocks. Just like so. Another thing I might do is I might take my knee in, right behind the armpit. Now when he tries to catch my body with his arm, he can't get behind because I'm behind the elbow here. So that's a basic snap down. We're here. First things first, I can never hit a snap down when he has a power hand on. So I got to strip the power hand. Let's rotate. But I can't strip the power hand because he's controlling my power hand. I go to strip with 2-on-1, doesn't work. So I have to strip this first. Then I can come here and strip. Alternatively, another thing we can try. If I can't get to my power hand, to his power hand, we can try a 1-on-1 strip. Where I come in with the heel of my hand and the cuff, or I come in with punching knuckles into the elbow. And now we pop the grip off. Now from here, maybe I try to take him down in a backward direction. He drives back into me, and as he drives back in, we pull him down to the floor as we circle. Now again, I make sure that I get behind this arm. Rotate. Have him down, I make sure I get behind this arm. So I either block here, I can block with the elbow, I can thumb post and circle, as long as I'm blocking and making sure my body gets behind this elbow. And now we're ready to start taking our opponent down putting in hooks, etc. Another way we can hit this snap down is using the power of 2-on-1. Maybe I'm here, and again, we need to get this off. Maybe I use a 2-on-1 snap, I need a break, or maybe a 1-on-1 snap off where we're just fine. Now from here, another thing I can do is I can double up on the lapel. I can hold the lapel like a baseball bat. Now from here, I can start dogging and dragging him down to the floor. If he's posturing strongly and I can't, sometimes I can come in with a quick trip, taking that foot out of the way, and we can start knocking him down to the floor. It's easier to sweep that if I make it unweighted. So if I'm here, I put all the weight onto the back leg, sweep that flank leg, we drag him down with 2 collars, or 2-on-1 lapel, and snap those hands down to the floor. We can do it either on this side, we can do it on this side too. Let's say we're stripped up here, rip up. I break off. That was a poor break, that's my fault. I should be demonstrating better, I'm sorry guys. I'm here, I snap that off. Now I come in 2-on-1 on the other lapel, I'm sweeping that foot away. And we pull and drag his head down to the floor. Now from here, I come in behind the elbow, we start putting hooks in, and we're ready to attack. So that's our snap down. We got a couple other variations for dragging techniques based on arm dominant takedowns. Next one we're going to look at is a shoulder snap down. Similar but a little different. Once again, we're gripped up with each other. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take either a 1-on-1 break, or I can do a 2-on-1 break. They're both okay. Once I get his grip broken, ideally I would like a cross cuff, or I'm sorry, a cross collar grip. Let's back up a little bit. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start dancing back and away, back and to the left. And as I do so, I want to create a wave effect through Adam's body. So I'm going to go back and pull down. Then as I circle back, my arms and my elbows, everything's going to come up. And I want to get his hand high. We come down again, breaking his posture. Then we go again, and then whenever I feel like I'm out of balance enough, when I get this wrist higher than my head, I'm going to drop with my body, pulling his shoulder down to the floor, and snapping him down onto his shoulder. So another way that I can break this grip off, we didn't talk about this one yet. Maybe I get a 1-on-1. He's got a cuff. I break. Here. I can go with a cross grip here. My left hand comes to the cuff. Now what I do is I'm going to push with the heel of my hand as I pull my left shoulder away, and that hand pops off. Now from here, everything opens up. We got him out of balance. We start pulling his weight forward onto his toes. And we're down. We're back up. And we're down. Now when we drop, let's come back to actually. When we drop here, and I snap and I pull him down onto his knees, hands and knees. No, hands and knees. I pull him down. Boom, we snap him down in a situation like this. We have him overextended. Now all I need to do from here is continue to pull on the head, and I'm going to pull this sleeve up. So watch how this is slowly going to rotate Adam's shoulders as I pull, and I eventually snap this shoulder down to the floor. Hence the name shoulder snap down. Okay? So one more time, we're gripped up. I deal with this grip over here. Maybe I use an outside thumb post throw by. I fix up a cross collar grip, taking a cuff grip here. I pop off, and now we start getting ready to put in that wave effect. I go up, get him out of balance, down, up, and I drop, pulling him down onto that shoulder. Now we come up, and we take our top position. So that's the shoulder snap down. Another option that we have is the spinning shoulder snap down, or the arm spin. Okay? In situations like this, Adam grips up with me. I'm actually going to use an underclasp grip. So I'm going to set my left hand as the power hand. My hand comes underneath his arm, and I'm looking to get my elbow inside his elbow. Okay? As we do that, I'm also making sure I'm breaking this grip, because I need this grip. I'm breaking. So between my underclasp grip here with my elbow underneath his elbow, and once I break this grip, I'm going to go here, snap off, and I get this grip just like so. Let's look at that snap off again. I'm here, I'm going to push on his shoulder, I'm going to pull on his cuff. Here. Now, this is going to be cool. I drop to my knee, and I'm going to push his hand behind his back. What happens is we start creating Kimura pressure. I'm going to roll like so, putting his hand behind his back, and as I continue to roll through, that shoulder pressure forces Adam to roll. Now I scissor my legs, and I come up to the top position. An arm spin, or a spinning shoulder snap down. We snap his shoulder down to the floor, just like we did before, but this time we roll, almost like a crocodile when it has its prey in its jaws, and it does a death roll to kill its prey. We're kind of doing the same thing. I set my grips, I come in underneath, and then everything very quickly turns through. So again, we're gripped up. I free that grip. I take an underclasp grip here, that's my fault. An underclasp grip coming here to the lapel, and we pop that off. Now obviously Adam's going to square up to me. Nobody wants to have that ankle on him. Now from here I step to the outside ankle line, and I'm going to drop to my right hip, dropping all the way to my right hip and spinning through from my right shoulder to my left shoulder. And we have this spinning shoulder drag, all right? I'll do this one more time, regular speed. I'm gripped up. I get my underclasp grip here, looking for inside position. I break, I pop, and we're through. So those are our 4 great dragging takedowns. Once again, we use dragging takedowns when our opponent's weight is forward and on their toes. Then when we start to pull them forward on their toes, there's nothing left for them to push backwards with. If they're on their heels and we try to pull them forward, what's going to happen? Their toes are going to hit the floor, and then they're going to push off the ball of their feet. They're here, we drag them forward, they feel themselves going forward, and they push themselves back. If they're on their toes already, and we start pulling them forward, they don't have anything to push off of anymore, and they fall. Same thing from the other direction. If we're here, if they're on their toes, and we try to drive them backwards, their heels hit, and they drive forward off their heels. They're here, if we try to take them backwards, they can change direction. But if they're already on their heels, and you start taking them backwards, they lose all ability to start propelling themselves forward because they're already on the back part of their foot. There's nothing further back to push off. So they can't push themselves forward. Same thing here when I'm here. When I'm like this, with my weight to my toes, there's nothing more forward to push off. If they get my weight on my toes, I can't push myself back anymore, and I'm going to get thrown forward. So when we are able to pull and get our opponent out of balance, and we see that their weight's on their toes, don't delay. Commit to one of these dragging takedowns. The collar drag is a phenomenal option. We have many good other options too. We got the collar drag. We also have snap down variations. There's different ways to hit this from different power hand sets, different control hand grips, etc. Collar drag, snap down. We have the shoulder snap down, where we use that wave-like effect to generate momentum and snap their shoulder down to the floor. And then we have the spinning shoulder snap down, where we get our underclasp grip and then we spin underneath of them, creating Kimura-like pressure on their shoulder, forcing them into a forward roll. So 4 good dragging takedowns, they're all based on using our arms as the dominant catalyst for getting the takedown to work. Now, we're going to move on to another part of the video, driving takedowns. For driving takedowns, we want our opponent's weight on their heels, where they cannot push themselves forward anymore. So when their weight's already on their heels and we apply just a little bit more backward power, it's very easy to take our opponents down. When we do this, we can focus on the heel and ankle with heel picks and ankle picks. They're the same thing. Don't get caught up in the name heel pick, ankle pick, it's the same. I use them interchangeably. So we have heel picks. Working our way up the leg to the mid joint, we have knee picks, which are going to be very similar to an ankle pick or a heel pick. We'll look at that. And then we have situations where we can get takedowns driving our opponent backward by controlling one leg with single leg takedowns. And then takedowns driving in a backward direction where we control both of our opponent's leg, double leg takedowns. So we have ankle picks, knee picks, single legs, and double legs. Let's get going on our ankle pick. So from here, once again, we grip up. Common grip. For the ankle pick, ideally I want to have, actually he can have a cuff grip. You know, it's actually not that big a deal. I can let him have a cuff grip. What I want to do is I want to get this grip off me. Just like we were talking about in all the other dragging takedowns, his power hand is going to screw you up. If I go for an ankle pick or a knee pick or a single leg here, and he makes a stiff arm, and I draw that leg to me and go to reach for it, I'm never going to be able to reach. So your opponent's power hand will stop you dead in your tracks when it's time to do takedowns. So anytime you're in a standing position, I highly advise get the power hand off you. If we reset again, same idea. Hit first, if he goes to get a power hand, intercept. Don't even let him get it on. If he sets it on, we can immediately break. Okay? Don't let him set the power hand on. I'm just showing all of our techniques from this position because this is the most common scenario in jiu-jitsu. Okay? We're either here or here. Most common scenario, people lock up 2 hands, and you have to know what to do from here because you're going to end up here. This is what people are going to do here. So maybe we never get here, maybe we were able to intercept the power hand, maybe we were able to strip it earlier, but to make sure you guys know what to do, we're going to work from this general neutral position. So from here, I'm going to come in, I'm going to take a one-on-one grip, and I'm going to use the heel of my hand against the cuff. I'm going to generate motion, driving backward. I may even distract him with a takedown attempt. I push him backward with an outside back trip. He steps back, catches his weight, and I snap his hand off. So I distract him with a takedown. Go ahead. I distract him with a takedown technique. We're here, pulling around. Boom. I get him thinking about his takedown. I snap our hand off. That is